If a pro fighter did his jujitsu on him, then the guy's gonna come back and duct tape his family. Pro fighters are the epitome of squares. They're like, come in the ring and I'll fight you. UFC fighting is gay. Like all that shit, like MMA fighting and all that shit is for people who never really were in fights.
All right, so during
All right. Let me say this, man. Let me say this. I get what he's trying to say. I get the point that he's trying to make. So pretty much he wants to say like violence is different than an actual vow, like something that two people accept. And I get the difference where it's like, yeah, if you're in a pro fight and you're down, I can't kick you in your head. If we're in a real fight and you're down, I'm gonna kick you in your head. Not me, you know what I mean? I'm an honorable man, but I just mean like most people will, right? So I get what he's trying to say, but to say that most pro fighters are square, that is the stupidest take I have ever seen in my fucking life. Are you stupid? Most pro fighters come from the roughest backgrounds. Kimbo Slice. Look at these guys, man. Look at the all them guys from Russia, the Dagestanian guys, man. They live up in mountains, man. They'll beat your ass at like this, bro. They street fighting all the time. You crazy to say that shit, bro. Are you crazy? That is an insane take. Most pro fighters, Rampage Jackson said he used to street fight. Most pro fighters, what's his name? Masvidal, Jorge Masvidal. Backyard fights, man, where it's violent and brutal and vicious at. You're talking about something. They're squares. You, my friend, are delusional. What you think?
who are
Lifting
willing
weights
to
makes
kill
you tough?
people. I think that's what he's trying to say here, but you could tell he's just trying to think of any way he can to criticize UFC fighters. And I guess he thinks the best way to do that is to talk about how unhinged his friends are because they're willing to kill people and go to jail for it. And he also says that MMA fighters and boxers aren't real fighters because they train to fight. I don't know how that makes any sense. And he also criticizes them for only fighting in the ring, even though a lot of them get in street fights as well. And I'm sure they'd be open to a street fight with Wes if he wants. But we all know Wes is the real coward here. You know, he had his chance to prove how tough he is. Like, he's begging his haters to come meet him at the gym to fight him. And somebody finally took the opportunity. And Wes, he needed 3 of his boys to jump in and help him. But I guess Wes thinks that makes him more of a tough guy for some reason. You know,
I get all the criticism and the talking and the sarcasm. Look, listen, bro. This situation here would have happened with anyone, not just Wes. If you pull up on anybody and he's with 2 or 3 of his boys and you think you finna put hands on that person, guess what? 2 or 3 people are gonna put hands on you. I've said this many times. People leave comments, they hate on me, whatever. I don't care. I'm gonna keep saying this. If I'm standing with a few of my friends and a random comes up and tries to put his hands on me, before I could put my hands on him, somebody might already flight him. That's just how the world works, bro. And if I'm standing with a friend of mine, and there's 2 or 3, I don't care if it's 10 of us, and you walk up on one of us, I'm gonna punch you in your face because you're an outside threat. We don't know you. We don't know you. You're an outside threat. You need to fucking die. We don't know you. Fuck you. I don't understand why you think somebody's gonna be like, oh, hey, wait. Here's a random. Let's put it ready, set, go. That happens in video games. Them fucking video games you'll be playing. In real life, that doesn't happen.
the fact that he's scared to fight a fair fight. So, of course, he acts like it's cool
A
to go to
fair
jail
fight.
for attacking people. You know, apparently he respects that more than people stepping in the octagon to fight. So, once again, Wes is proving he's an unhinged idiot that has no self-control. And the fact he's trying to make this behavior sound cool while he's on trial for assault is wild.
Don't encourage anyone to run up to these pro fighters. Pro fighters are pussies, okay? They're only good in the ring. People I know will not accept a loss, okay?
You sound so very stupid. He sounds so very stupid. Are you kidding me? Run up on a pro fighter at any moment. They will beat the shit out of you. If they didn't come from a rough background and had no other choice, then more than likely they grew up loving to fight. So they fight because they love it. There's no way around that. Those people will... Come on, bro. This guy's retarded. This guy's retarded, bro. All the steroids and the shit is fucking your brain up. Are you shitting me, bro? Let's continue, man.
If a pro fighter did his jujitsu on him, then the guy's gonna come back and duct tape his family, okay? You don't wanna fuck with the wrong people. And the wrong people out here in the world are not pro fighters. You guys need to wake up. These are very big time squares.
Okay. He's bullshitting, but he's also telling some truth, though. He's telling some truth. There is some people, like if you beat up a pro fighter, or he beats you up, or whatever the case may be, a nice back and forth, maybe in a street fight, whatever. He probably will let that go. You might let that go. There is some people who will not let that go. There's some people who will rather kill you than take that loss. And that's I guess what he's trying to explain to a certain extent. Yes, there's some people who are like that, like vicious, violent people who do not care about their freedom. It's all about their respect, and they feel as if they're disrespected. So I get that part. But to say pro fighters are square, that is the stupidest take on earth, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Pro fighters are the epitome of squares. They're like, come in the ring and I'll fight you. The people I grew up with and went to prison with, they don't give a fuck about a ring. They don't give a fuck if they're on camera. They don't give a fuck if they have to fucking live the rest of their life in prison. You will not beat them. They will not take a loss. You guys live in a fantasy world.
Yeah, they can't
where
fight.
Pro fighters aren't the biggest squares on the planet.
I'll take John Jones against any one of your little prison boys, and I guarantee you John Jones will tax the fuck out. I'll take fucking, what's buddy name with the beard, the inbred motherfucker. What's buddy name? Islam. I'll take Islam against any one of your prison buddies, and I guarantee you he'll wreck them. But I get what you're saying. They're not gonna take a loss, meaning they're probably gonna use weapons, and that's where it's gonna get a little bit more tricky. But even then, a motherfucker will take that knife from you, bro. You better have something else. Nah, man, this is a stupid take, man. This is a very stupid take.
UFC fighting is gay. Like all that shit, like MMA fighting and all that shit is for people who never really were in fights. Like they never whooped ass their whole life. So they're always like, I'm gonna train and fight. Like I've always just handled shit very easily. I never had to think about fighting because I always just extinguished the problem however I had to. So the point is like, that's for people who like never could really fight. They had to go learn to fight.
No. Allow me to correct you because I always felt the same way until I learned how to fight. The thing is this, you can punch out a punk, you can punch out a dude that doesn't know how to fight. Now, when you come across somebody that knows how to fight and you go to punch him out, that's when you get punched out. That's when you realize there's levels. There's levels, okay. I could punch out a punk, I could punch out somebody that doesn't know how to fight. Then there's all these levels right here that could beat the shit out of you. And you realize that, and even when you learn how to fight, now you're good and you could beat all these levels here, but then there's these people who you still can't beat. And then there's some who you'll never be able to beat. And that's what happens when you learn the discipline. The thing is, you just don't know that because how you fight is like, what, fool? And then 2-3 punches on somebody, and then somebody splits you up. You never really probably had somebody square up with you and really work your chin and really black both of your eyes and make your motherfucking head throb. You never had that happen.
I mean, people who just handle business, they don't have to learn to fight. There's a difference between fighters and violent people. You should really stay away from violent people because it doesn't matter how good you are at fighting when they want to take it to the level. They'll take you out. And so there's a huge difference here. You guys have it all misconstrued. Fighting is...
That is very true what he just said. That's very, very true. Violence, it's not pro fighting. Pro fighting, yes, it's violent, but violence is different, meaning weapons, hot coffee in your face, knives, anything illegal you can think of, eye gouging, knees to the crotch, foot stomps, anything, pepper spray, gun, all that's actual violence. That's people that want to harm you. That's not just people that want to win. So there is a difference there, and he did make a point there.
Some weird sports shit that is all these people do, and it has nothing to do with violence. Because a violent person will end your life. And this is the thing. You guys need to quit thinking that UFC people are gonna be able to fuck around with violent motherfuckers. Because a violent motherfucker won't lose. He won't take it. And you'll be like, wait, put the gloves on. And he's not gonna hear it. And it's gonna be a problem for you.
Who's this bobblehead? Who's this airhead? She's just sitting there, airheaded as hell. Come on, man. Say something at least.
So what? You have an active case. Why are you talking about this?
Yeah, so Wes never disappoints. I mean, the guy's facing jail time and he still doesn't tone down how unhinged he is at all. Like, this is a generational crash out from him, and he ended up deleting this stream. Maybe he had a moment of self-awareness or something, but that's probably unlikely. You know, his lawyer probably just told him to take it down because this is a terrible look for him. And I thought Wes was probably trying to get a beef going with fighters, but some big fighters responded, and it sounds like Wes doesn't want that smoke now. Like,
I'm not gonna lie. Look, listen, man. First of all, let me read this tweet. Wes Watson is some roided up, muscle bound douchebag that yells at his phone all day, made his name making prison YouTube videos, and he says on a video that UFC fighters are pussies and squares that aren't tough. Guys that are into fitness are closeted gays who are too ashamed to jerk off to dudes, so they jerk off to themselves doing squats.
Brutality.
Look, man. yo, Sean Strickland is crazy. Look, man, listen, man. One thing I don't like about these videos is the feminine language, dude. Listen to this.
never disappoints. I mean, the guy's facing jail time and he still doesn't tone down how unhinged he is at all. Like,
He doesn't tone down how unhinged he is. It's like, I get it though. Soy boys flock to this kind of content because they all kind of could like think the same. Look, listen, man. Some shit you just don't. It's in you. Some shit just in you. To you, it might seem unhinged. To him, it might not. To some people, it might not. Some people might understand exactly what he's saying. When a motherfucker tell you, I ain't doing no more fighting. When a motherfucker tell you, I ain't losing. When a motherfucker tell you, I got something for you. I got something for that. When you say, yo, I got a black belt in this. I got something for that. Then you understand. It ain't that, bro. A lot of these people who do commentating, I hate to criticize you, brother. I don't know who you are. I don't want to criticize you. I'm not against you. Too lazy to try. Hey, shout out to you, brother. A lot of you motherfuckers do not live out in the real world, man. You really don't, bro. You really think that that's unhinged. You don't understand what unhinged is. You don't understand what violence is. You don't understand how it really could go up so quickly. And you got to be ready for anything. And trust me, when it does, and this is why the video that happened within the gym got the reaction that it got, because people were thinking you're gonna pull a phone out, put it to record somebody, walk up on him, push him, and then that person's gonna get up and say, "Hold on, wait, let me know when you're ready." Okay, are you ready? All right, shake hands. That's not what the fuck is gonna happen in the real world, bro. That's not what's gonna happen in the real world. That never happens in the real world. In the real world, you pull up on somebody, and when they feel threatened, they're gonna try to neutralize you. That's just what's gonna happen, one way or the other. And in the video that we saw with the fight, it actually went down kind of decently because, man, I'm telling you, that man could have lost his life. Let's watch a little bit more of this thing.
Like, this is a generational crash out from him, and he ended up deleting this stream. Maybe he had a moment of, I think he might be scared. It turns out he's actually not that tough. But this is what Sean had to say. Somebody asked him if he's going to accept Wes Watson's challenge, and Sean said,
Bro, what the fuck you talking about? Watson from Bellator? Bro, everyone in fitness is a clown these days. You can't keep track with these influencers.
LMAO. Bro, what are you talking about? Watson from Bellator? So he has no idea who Wes is. He thinks he's a fighter in a different league. So this must be embarrassing for Wes because he thinks everybody knows who he is. He thinks of himself as like the most famous person alive and the most interesting man alive.
You understand, I am massively famous. I have to guide everybody because they suck. But I don't like people. You're pussies. You're pushovers. I am 6 foot, so it doesn't matter. Man, I am the most interesting man. Like that guy in the Dos Equis commercials. That's like me. Most interesting man alive.
Yeah, so then somebody explained to Sean Strickland who Wes is. They said Wes is some roided up, muscle bound douchebag that yells on his phone all day, made his name from making Prison too, and said, anyone heard of this guy? Damn, would be so
Who's this? Dean Lister, BJJ. Anyone heard of this guy? Damn, it would be so easy to beat him in less than a minute, unless he had like 4 friends or something. Such an embarrassment that he claims to be from San Diego. On this point, those Navy SEALs and Marine snipers aren't good because they had to go to school to learn how to shoot. Anyone who can actually shoot doesn't need this training. They're just already lethal. LOL. That's exactly what I was saying earlier. Kind of similar, I guess. I like that. I like that metaphor he used with the shooting. Yeah, like you can go to the range and then hit a few shots. That's good. But then here comes what's his name, who can from 40 yards put a bullet right, group up, do a nice little group. You know what I mean? Like it's levels, bro. The same with fighting. There's levels. With shooting, there's levels. With running, there's levels. With everything, there's levels. There's levels. So to sit there and say that people who learn how to fight, it's because they don't know how to fight. I mean, to a certain extent, that is kind of true, but that is very stupid of him, bro. You have to add points to the attributes that you want grow. So if you want your hands to be better, you gotta add points to that. You want your jujitsu to be better, you gotta. And when I say add points, meaning you gotta train. So yeah, that was a stupid take, though. I'm pretty sure this is gonna go on fire. This post is gonna stay on fire for a while, bro.
easy to
He
beat
dissed a
him
lot
in
of
less than a
people.
minute, unless he had like 4 friends or something. Such an embarrassment. And then also Gordon Ryan, who's like one of the best jiu-jitsu
Oh my god. This guy's a steroid freak, but this guy is a monster with the jiu-jitsu. Oh my god, he would fold fucking Wes up in 5 seconds. Damn, that tattoo is so hard. Respect everyone, fear no one. Should I go copy it?
jiu-jitsu practitioners in the world. He responded and said, imagine living in this delusion. The people you're talking about could make sweet love to you and you couldn't do a thing about it. Also, you want to see real violent people, people who know and are good at high-end violence. Make friends with vets, not I see red bro cons. Yeah, so Wes was just getting humiliated by these people as expected.
Yeah, that's another thing, bro. You put Wes Watson in a room with um with Gordon, or you put him in a
They're all
room with Sean, you put him in a room with Islam, they could force themselves on him. That's how good they are at what they do. Bro, if you don't believe what I'm saying, listen. This is my challenge to you. Go down to a gym, MMA gym of any sort, a boxing gym of any sort, and say you want to sign up, and also just say you want to test yourself. Just hey, I want to test myself with somebody, and watch yourself get embarrassed, and then you'll realize, oh my god, I don't know how to fight at all. Doesn't matter if you see red, blue. Them people that be like, I get so angry, and then it's like, that shit means nothing. That shit means absolutely nothing. You can get a lot angry if you want. Man, listen, I got a friend of mine, bro. He's fire with the hands, bro. And I like to think my hands are vicious. I like to think my hands are vicious. Man, the other day, man, we were just doing some partner drills, bro. And every time he tapping me in my body, I'm like, this boy got a punch on him, bro. And he fast as hell on top of that. That's when I realized, like, damn, bro, I gotta step my game up even more. This dude is vicious, bro. That's what I'm saying. You always come across people who are just gonna be more vicious. And especially if they train in that.
just getting humiliated by these people as expected. You know, they're all bragging about how they could end him in a minute or R-word him in a minute, which probably just sounds like a good time to him. And I think that's probably why he's secretly looking forward to going back to jail. But of course, Wes, you know, the big alpha male, tough guy, he talks all this shit about fighters and how they're cowards. But I think he did kind of respond to some of the fighting commentary channels. He never says anyone's name, though, and he acts like he's above internet beef. You know, now all of a sudden he acts like he's just too mature for this kind of stuff. So
You have to have like an internet Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef when I don't know who they are and they try to copy me and shit, and they have no following, they've never done anything, and they bought their tattoos at the store. Those people are always just trying to get internet fame through top people like me. But what most people don't see is that when we were at the gym right now, and when we were at Pura Vida right now, at least 7 people came up and said, Wes, you changed my fucking life. I absolutely love you.
And you know
Look, how much does I'm done watching this shit. How much is Wes Watson weigh? Like 220, 230, 240? Listen, man. You had to get in there with John Jones. Imagine Wes Watson in there with John Jones. Just imagine that. I'm not even going to elaborate anymore. And I'm not going to go any further into this, bro. This is delusional, it's dumb, it's slow. Wes Watson does it again.